Hello dear viewers, here I am Alok, your bio guru, once again along with you through my channel Glittering Biology. This is the second video of the series related with unit first of plus 2 level, that is reproduction. In the previous video we were selected chapter number 1 of this unit, that was the reproduction in organisms. Before starting continuation series of video, I would like to bring you back on the same track by showing the last slide of previous video for its quick revision, and that slide was related with the types of reproduction. If I would like to bring you back on the previous track, then there was the two modes of reproduction, that were asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is quite common in primitive and unicellular animals for maintaining their existence on the earth. The sexual reproduction is common among the higher category of animals. In the asexual reproduction, we need to know about the special features of organisms. That asexual reproduction is not required the mating partner, means only single individual is sufficient enough to produce their offspring. Here in this asexual reproduction, there is no gamete formation and there is no fertilization required among the organisms. The offsprings, whatever are produced by the asexual reproduction, are morphologically and genetically identical, and they were called as a clone. Normally, the primitive organisms like the monarians, protistans, and the fungi use the asexual mode of reproduction for quick and rapid division of their body. The term ramets is used for members of clones. This type of reproduction is also called as the somatogenic reproduction. That is all we discussed earlier in the previous video. Now in this slide, we will start to elaborate the asexual reproduction by discussing about its modes. As we know that there are the several types of organisms, they are choosing their own pattern of division under the asexual reproduction. The first category which is considered here for the asexual reproduction, that one is just known as the fission, in which the division of parental body into two or more parts, it is just known as the fission. There are the two main types of fission. One is called as the binary fission and the another is called as the multiple fission. So first we will take the binary fission. Here the division of the body into two equal parts with equal genetic material is considered under the binary fission. As I told earlier that there are the several types of organisms are present on the earth. They are following their own pattern of division under this subcategory of binary fission. So for further details, we will take the example of amoeba, in which the plane of division passes through any direction, called as the simple binary fission. While in the paramecium and planaria, the division coincides with the transverse axis of the body, and that's why it is called as the transverse binary fission. In the Euglena and Vorticella, the plane of division occurs with the longitudinal axis of animals, called as the longitudinal binary fission. For making it more clear in your mind, that I have selected one picture through which you will get a clear-cut idea about the plane of divisions. Here it is the picture in which the first segment is representing the amoeba body, through in which the simple binary fission has been shown for the production of new offspring. In the second segment of the picture, the paramecium is present over there, as earlier I told you that transverse axis of their body is used for the making the new offspring. And in the third segment of picture, the euglena is present, in which the longitudinal axis of the animal is required for making their new offspring. So in this slide, we will just continue with the another category of fission, that is the multiple fission. Multiple fission term is indicating the formation of new individuals in many small fragments, that is called as the multiple fission. It occurs in amoeba, plasmodium, monocystis, near about all protozoans. The most common, which one is just related with the your content, that is plasmodium. In plasmodium, first of all, I hope you know about the plasmodium. It is a parasite which is causing different types of ailment in the human body also, and it belongs to the protozoans. Multiple fission in the plasmodium occurs in scission stage during asexual cycle. Which one is forming the daughter individuals? They are known as the merozoites, while in the sporant stage, it is encysted zygote during sexual cycle, and the daughter individuals are just known as the sporozoites. Here, after this fission, the main category of asexual reproduction, that is the budding or the torulation. Here, what we need to study about, that production of small projections oblique buds from parental body, just considered as a budding or the torulation. It is quite common in yeast, hydra, sponges, etc. Yeast, the fungus. It is the unicellular body which one is showing frequent budding for multiplying itself in a short time period. Later on, another is the gamule formation. During unfavorable conditions of freshwater sponges like the spongilla inside the body, buds develops enable to produce new individuals on the return of favorable periods. Means it is a special structure which one is covered by the special uh, coating during the unfavorable condition, and whenever the conditions becomes favorable, at that time they all small structures are get released from that structure. Now next one is the fragmentation. Fragments term is indicating clear view about that one. Parental body breaks into the two or more pieces. Each piece under the suitable condition grows into the new organism. Like in algae, if we will just talk about, then Spirogyra is common example. In fungi, Rhizopus, Bryophytes, Rixia and Markensia. And in pteridophytes, it is Selaginella. So these are the examples related with the fragmentation. This fragmentation also considered as a mode of reproduction under the asexual reproduction. Then another important thing for you, that one is the regeneration of whole body from some small body fragment is called as the morphallaxis. Morphallaxis, or it is also considered as the restorative regeneration. Restorative regeneration, morphallaxis, means what it is? It is the regeneration of whole body from some small body fragments. In animals like the coelentrates, hydra, annelids, nereis, platyhelminthes, planaria, echinodermata, starfish, etc. are the common example of the fragmentation. Another example we have about the lizard. I hope everyone has seen that lizard is losing its tail during the danger conditions. So what that one is, the process of repair or replacement of broken or lost body parts is called as the epimorphosis or the reparative regeneration. It is as shown in the lizard. In the next slide, we will just have another mode of reproduction, that is sporulation. Sporulation, as the first part of the term, is related with the spores. Formation of spores by the process of multiple fission, that is called as the sporulation. The process in which during adverse condition amoeba forms three-layered cyst which divides by multiple fission during favorable and forms minute amoebae called as the pseudopodospores. This is the another example of sporulation. Means, as earlier in the starting I told you about the unicellular organism. So most common type of asexual mode of reproduction is present along with the amoeba. Later on in plants, if we will just talk about this one, algae, fungi, bryophytes and pteridophytes, spores may be motile or non-motile on the basis of their feature. We can just call them zoospores, microscopic, flagellated and motile, produced in the zoosporangia. Means the motile microscopic spores are just considered as a zoospores. Next one is the sporangiospores or the endospores. They are non-motile, non-flagellated, produced in sporangia. Then conidia, non-motile, produced at the top of the conidiophores, example penicillium. Now the next heading is the vegetative propagation in plants. Vegetative propagation in plants, what it is indicating, that this type of reproduction is representing no meiosis, no gamete formation, no fertilization, no gametophytic stage, only the formation of clones. Here modifications are called as the vegetative propagules. Then modification of roots, if we will just talk about modification of roots, we can just see different types of structures are just modifying themselves to store the food material in few plants. So roots are modified into the napiform, conical and the fasciculated forms. These tuberous roots have adventitious buds such as the sweet potato, Dahlia, asparagus, tapioca, etc. Normal roots in the plants like the populus, guava, moraya, delbergia and albizia can develop adventitious buds which grow to form new plants. This all content you have gone through in the 11th standard also, whenever we were talking about the vegetative propagation in plants chapter. Now in this slide, we will just talk about the modification of stems. We know very well that stems are also playing a very important role while they are just showing the propagation activities for different types of plants. So modifications in the stem, especially that stems considered as the underground, and in that category, first we will just select about the rhizomes. It is a horizontally growing underground stem, bears scaly leaves, buds and adventitious roots. Common example for such type of category, that is ginger, turmeric, banana, dry Paris buds. These all are common in our surroundings. The next level is representing the corms, unbranched, swollen, underground stem with swollen base surrounded by scaly leaves. Buds grow to form new plants as in crocus, gladiolus, colocasia, etc. The next is the bulb, condensed underground shoots, terminal buds on the leaf produces new bulbs. Onion, tulip, daffodil, garlic, narcissus. These are the common examples for bulb. And the next is about the tubers. This is the most common and important one. Underground storage stem possess axillary buds in the axils of scaly leaves present on the nodes called as the eyes, as in potato, artichoke, etc. Now, I have one picture for you all through which we can just easily recognize the different types of underground stem in different condition. Here, the first segment of picture representing the corms means it is the colocasia, which one is just showing the nodes, internodes, and daughter corms. The second picture is representing about the tubers. Here, the potato and the antichoke, they all are having the eyes on that one for giving birth to new plant. The third segment of picture is representing the onion, in which scaly leaves are present over there. In that one, terminal bud and axillary buds are shown, which one is important for growing the new plant, especially terminal buds. And the last segment of picture is representing the rhizomes. Here we can just having the example of the ginger, turmeric for the rhizomes. After that all, now we have certain other structures of the plants which one are just involved in the vegetative propagation, and here we are just having the another heading, propagation from the creeping stems. Look, creeping stems like the runners. For that we can select the example as a grass, stolon, that is related with the Vallisneria, and offsets, that is Eichhornia. Very important for one word answer, Eichhornia, that is also considered as a terror of Bengal. Develops vertically upward from the base of an old shoot. Propagation from the aerial shoot. This is the another mode through which the vegetative propagation takes place into the plants. That is, in Opuntia and the cacti, a detached piece of stem or twig having at least one node can give rise to the new plant. While propagation from the leaves, the most common method in special plants in which we can just select the bryophyllum is the most common among. Adventitious buds found on the marginal notches can give rise to the new plants on detachment. Propagation by the bulbils. Here, specialized fleshy and rounded bud-like structures can give rise to the new plants. Example, agave, oxalis, pineapple, lily, chlorophytum, dioscorea. Now, I have another picture for you all in which you can just classify the different categories of the plants which are showing the category of vegetative propagation. The first segment of this picture is representing the runners, in which I have given an example of the grasses. In the sucker, you can just see that another category of vegetative propagation is stolon, Vallisneria, and the offset like the Eichhornia. Another picture in which you will just have the propagation from the leaves, bryophyllum leaf, in which the adventitious buds are just present on the marginal notches, and the bulbils in the next picture, through which they are just reproducing themselves for new individual. Thank you everyone. Soon I will meet you on the same channel with next video of this series on my channel Glittering Biology.